It's time for Wenatchee Panther Wrestling on the NCW Life Channel. Today, the Wenatchee Panthers take on the Davis Pirates. High school sports on the NCW Life Channel is brought to you by the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. TC Slingers, they'll place the material for you. Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center. Les Schwab Tires in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. The Windmill Restaurant in Wenatchee. And the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. Now let's head to the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium with NCW Life Sports Director Eric Granstrom.
Welcome, wrestling fans, here to Wenatchee High School as we get ready for this Big Nine matchup between the Wenatchee Panthers and the Davis Pirates here at Wenatchee High School. We've got the spotlight out, and we're ready for some good dual action here tonight. As the Panthers come in at 0-1 so far, very young in the season. They've had a little bit of wrestling experience in tournament play. They've got more tournament play coming up, but right now it's head-to-head with the Davis Pirates, who come in with some experience. We're going to talk to Ed Valdez, the longtime head coach here at Wenatchee High School, coming up next, and see how the team has performed so far this season, young into it, and what he expects tonight. That's as we continue here live from Wenatchee High School. It's wrestling night here on the NCW Life Channel. Wenatchee and Davis will come back right after this timeout with our coaches interview. Don't go away. Show continues here on the NCW Life Channel. Time for our coaches talk, and it's brought to you by TC Slingers. No need for rakes or wheelbarrows. They'll place the material for you. Talking with Ed Valdez now, longtime coach here at Wenatchee High School. Ed, 34 years, is that right?
I think this is my 34th year. It's kind of hard to remember. I can tell you that my first season was 1984-85, and I think I did 20 years as an assistant, and since then I've been the head coach. So it's been a great ride.
Let's talk about the season. We're young into it. How are the kids doing so far?
So we have a lot of new faces in the lineup. Down at the lower weights, we have Julio Garcia at 26, and we have Juan down here at 106, and they're both juniors, but they're new to the sport and they're coming along real well. I know that one of their assets is that they've got a lot of strength, because they're older, and that's a big asset. So it's a 2-year process with them rather than a 4-year process. We don't have a lot of time, but I think with this season and next season they're going to really pick things up for us. We have veterans, and Jose Galarza, Ronan Haynes, Pedro Acevedo. Those kids are doing a good job. So we're looking forward to them improving and getting better as the season rolls on, and I think that they should have a real positive season.
The whole world has changed in your 34 years, back in high school when I wrestled, as far as it was all about your head-to-head matches in league, and there's so many tournaments now to get these kids ready for tournament action at the end of the season, isn't there?
Yeah, I believe that when I wrestled, we had 12 dates, and we could only have one tournament. So if you got 16 matches in, that was a lot of matches. The allotted amount is 44 matches for these kids. It's a lot of matches, and if you're young like some of these guys, it's a learning experience. We were just at Silverdale at the Olympic duels. We wrestled 4 matches, 4 dual meets, and we won one of those. And you could see the intensity sort of dwindle in that last match, and we discussed that. We worked on that in practice. We talked about that, and it's a lot more difficult for these kids to wrestle that many matches when they haven't had a lot of varsity experience. So,
well, what do you expect from Davis here tonight?
Davis is a real veteran team. They have state placers in Sowers and Mata, and some of these kids that are coming into this match, and they have a lot of experience, which is going to be trouble for us. The other trouble is we don't have a 13 or a 20 pounder tonight, and that's spotting them 12 points. It'll be tough to overcome that, but all we can do is see what happens.
Well, best of luck here tonight. Keep everybody healthy.
Thank you very much, and thank you for showing this live on television. It's great for our sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a big proponent of wrestling, so anytime we can come out here and put the camera on the kids, I'm all for that. We'll come back and get you ready for the match. It's Wenatchee and Davis, the Pirates and the Panthers, coming up next here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again to Wenatchee High School. Not to worry, you haven't missed any of the varsity action. This is the wrap-up of our junior varsity action here on the mat right now between Davis and Wenatchee. Wenatchee in the gold singlet, trimmed in purple and white. Davis in the black singlet, trimmed in orange. And pretty good match here. 5-3 Wenatchee on top in this particular match. It's been kind of back and forth here as far as the junior varsity is concerned as we welcome you back in here to Wenatchee High School. Small crowd on hand for wrestling here tonight between the Panthers and the Pirates, both coming in with 0-1 marks in Big 9 play. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Also by the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club and the Windmill Restaurants. We thank head coach Ed Valdez for joining us here on our pregame show. As he mentioned, long time, 34 years here at Wenatchee High School. A lot of that as an assistant coach and then as the head coach now in his 13th season here at Wenatchee High School. And by the way, if you're joining us live on the broadcast, what is coming next? Well, it's the week that continues here with our broadcast schedule of hockey on Thursday nights as we start things off on Thursday with a Call of the Wild at 7 o'clock, followed by Clarkie's Corner, and then it's Trail and the Wenatchee Wild from back on December 6th. That's coming up here as we continue this week of broadcasting here on the NCW Life Channel. Then coming up on Friday, we've got live basketball back here at Wenatchee High School, where Wenatchee plays host to West Valley in girls play at 5:30. The boys will follow at 7 o'clock. Ian Dunn and Mark Miller will have your play-by-play right here on the home of the NCW Life Channel in the home of Big 9 basketball here coming up on Friday night. Then on Saturday, we'll have a replay of last Friday's matchup between Wenatchee and East Blunt girls at 2, and then the boys at 7 o'clock here on the NCW Life Channel. So that's what's coming up on our broadcast schedule. Here tonight, wrestling. And we still have some holes in the lineup. Coach Ed Valdez taking a look at things. He's got a couple of forfeits, as he alluded to on our pregame show. By the way, thanks again to TC Slingers for sponsoring our Talk with a Coach. No more need for wheelbarrows, shovels, or rakes. They place the material for you at TC Slingers. But he's got a forfeit at 120 pounds and a forfeit at 113 pounds. Now, they do the draw of our 14 weight classifications before the match as they do the weigh-in. There's a draw that happens, and a blind draw out of a hat. They pick the weight that will start the match. It could be the lightweights, it could be middle, it could be heavyweights. Tonight, the match will start at 120 pounds. Now, the interesting thing about that is that it'll be bookend forfeits here for the Wenatchee Panthers tonight, as they have a forfeit at 120 pounds and a forfeit at 113 pounds. So as far as the team scores is concerned, that's 12 points already before they even take the mat awarded to the Davis Pirates. So we'll see how that might pan out as far as the night is concerned. There's also some holes in the lineup for Ed Valdez because he's got a couple of wrestlers that he hasn't decided where he wants them to wrestle yet. Orlando Rodriguez and Pedro Acevedo both weighed in at 152 pounds. So he's going to decide when they get to those matches, determining what happens prior to that as to which wrestler will wrestle at 152 and which will wrestle at 160. That's the same case for Jose Galarza and Lucas Carranza at 195 pounds. So he'll decide when it comes match time as to whether he wants Carranza or make that Carranza to wrestle at 195 or 220. Ronan Haynes will stick at 182. Jose Galarza also, as we mentioned, weighing in at 195 pounds, so he could wrestle 195 his weight or wrestle up to 220. It just depends on where the match is at that point. And as far as the head-to-head matchup here this evening, the Davis Pirates out there warming up right now. I had a chance to talk to their head coach, who's now in his 6th season. By Pham is his name. His last name Pham, By as in BY. Asked him about his club this year, and he said he's without one of his strongest wrestlers. John Sowers is out of the lineup here tonight because he's got homework. He's got to study for a final tomorrow as school comes down to the end before the holiday break. They've got throughout the Big Nine and all the rest of the leagues, as a matter of fact, they've got counting that's happening as far as the GPA is concerned. You got to have a minimum GPA. I think it's a 2.0 in order to stay out here and wrestle. And there's some kids that might not be quite there. Now, John Sowers, that's not the case for him. He's got a tough class, according to his coach by Pham, about what he needs to study for tonight. So John Sowers, a state placer from last year, 145 pounds for Davis, is not here tonight. His brother Dominic is, however. Dominic just a freshman this year, so you'd think his class load a little bit lighter than older brother John. So John is not here, and Oliver Hernandez will wrestle in his place for the Davis Pirates. Also, they had a couple of wrestlers that were weighing in about the same here tonight as well. So 126-pounder Josh Fernandez and Cameron Guerin. Coach Pham had to decide, okay, who's going to wrestle where and who's going to bump up to 132. So at 126 pounds, he'll have Josh Fernandez wrestle there, and Cameron Guerin will wrestle up to 132 pounds. He is a senior. So kind of a little taste of what's to come here tonight on the NCW Life Channel. Other matches happening tonight. Eastmont is home as well against Sunnyside, and it was Sunnyside that beat Davis in the opening match of the season for the Pirates, 58-18. So that was a landslide in favor of the Grizzlies. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Panthers also got mauled at Moses Lake here last week, falling to the Chiefs 73-3. Now, as you heard from Ed Valdez before the match here tonight, he said that he did have some wrestlers do a little bit better last weekend at a tournament, and the schedule continues with a tournament for Wenatchee coming up this weekend as well. We're awaiting the Panthers to come out here and do their warm-ups as we get ready for this match here tonight between the Pirates and the Panthers. We will take a 2-minute break and come back and talk about the rest of the schedule for the Panthers and get you ready for wrestling. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, let's watch the Panthers come in here to the floor and to the home crowd here at Wenatchee High School. I would say we're at about 110 people maybe here tonight to watch this wrestling match. Certainly a lot different from where I grew up, where wrestling was the only sport that ever mattered. We would have absolutely packed house for wrestling on a Tuesday or Thursday night, and not necessarily the case here. We've got our lineups coming up. We'll do that after we take this 60-second break here on the NCW Life Channel. We're back right after this. Back here at Wenatchee High School as they announce the lineups here for this varsity match between the Davis Pirates and the Wenatchee Panthers. Let's take a look at that. We mentioned we'll start it off at 120 pounds. It'll be a forfeit for Wenatchee, so Luis Partida of Davis will get the victory. Josh Fernandez will wrestle for Davis against Julio Garcia at 126 pounds. At 132 pounds, it's Leo Gutzweiler wrestling for the Panthers against Cameron Guerin for Davis. At 138 pounds, it'll match up Alan Swan of Wenatchee against Malachi Cook for Davis. At 145, it's Jordan Velasquez for Wenatchee against Oliver Hernandez for Davis. As we mentioned, John Sowers not here tonight. 152 pounds is a question mark right now for the Wenatchee Panthers. We'll say right now Orlando Rodriguez. And for Davis, it'll be Emiliano Mata. Meanwhile, at 160 pounds, Pedro Acevedo for Wenatchee against Andres Nunez for Davis. 170 pounds, Kean Davis for Wenatchee against Jordan Alcala for Davis. At 182 pounds, it'll be Ronan Haynes taking on Juan Bellman. 195 pounds, again, pencil this in, Lucas Carranza for Wenatchee against Alex Huizer for the Pirates. At 220 for the Wenatchee Panthers, Jose Galarza and Juan Gutierrez for the Davis Pirates. We've got our anthem coming up, and we'll come back with wrestling right after this 60-second timeout on the NCW Live channel. Wonderful job on our anthem here tonight as we get ready for wrestling action on the NCW Live channel. Let's take a look at the rest of the lineups. We left off at 220 pounds, 285, Andy Jimenez Manriquez for Wenatchee. Evan Stroud will go for Davis. It'll be Javier Aragon at 106 pounds for the Panthers. Dominic Sowers will go for the Davis Pirates. And a forfeit at 113 pounds for Wenatchee. Give the victory to Caleb Aguilar of the Davis Pirates. Our official for tonight is Eric Stroud. As he comes out, talks to our captains here about good sportsmanship and such. Thanks for joining us here live. First time around to do live wrestling on the NCW Life channel. As I mentioned, the Wenatchee Panthers coming in with a record of 0-1. Their one match so far, lost to Moses Lake. Of course, Moses Lake, the perennial powerhouse in the Big Nine, as well as the state of Washington, as far as that matters. Coming up for the Panthers after the match here tonight, so they'll be on the road at the Cadet Classic at Eisenhower coming up this weekend. And then they'll take on Eastmont next Tuesday. And I believe that we've got that one scheduled here for the NCW Live channel. And then Friday the 22nd, Wenatchee will be at the Best of the West Invitational in Pasco. Then Friday, December 29th, write this one down on the schedule for your wrestling fans. Right here at Wenatchee High School, it's the Wenatchee Duels as Bremerman, Eastmont, Rogers will be here to take on the host Panthers. That'll start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, December 29th during the Christmas holiday break here at Wenatchee High School. So here we go. The wrestler to check in first will be Luis Partida, and he will earn a forfeit win for the Davis Pirates. So with the forfeit, that'll give the Pirates a 6-0 lead here on the scoreboard. You got to check into the scorer's bench, head out there, and our official Eric Stroud will raise the hand of Luis Partida, one of his easiest matches of the season. Next up, it'll be 126 pounds. Julio Garcia, Jr. for the Wenatchee Panthers, will go up against the sophomore in Josh Fernandez. Again, the Pirates with the black singlets trimmed in white and orange. The Panthers with their gold singlets trimmed in purple, as Julio Garcia puts the headgear on the far sideline from our broadcast location here, and we get ready for wrestling on the NCW Light channel. I did call, for those of you who are familiar with the sounds and the golden tenor of Buell Hawkins. I asked him if he would join us on the broadcast, but Buell says he's a little busy doing some charity work here in December, but he will join us. We have a couple of broadcasts scheduled in January, so Buell will join us in January here for wrestling on the NCW Light channel. So we're underway, and a nice heel pick there by the Davis wrestler Josh Fernandez. He gets the 2-point takedown. The wrestlers go out of bounds here on the near side. It'll be a 2-0 lead for Fernandez over Julio Garcia. On a nice pick of the heel, taking him down, making sure he holds on to that head. 6-0, Davis on top in the match tonight, as we're in our official first match. And Fernandez on top for Davis, Garcia on the bottom for Wenatchee. Stands up. Had a chance to do a little reversal, but a nice move there. Taking him to his backside is Fernandez. Got a couple of waves from the officials saying those were near fall points. We'll see if he gets at least 2 out of this. Meanwhile, Garcia, it is a 2-point near fall for Fernandez, so he leads 4-0. But Garcia, pretty good position here with that leg on top. He's got a hold of it as they inch towards the sideline, and they're going to go out of bounds. So it'll be no switch in position here. Garcia for Wenatchee will still be down. He was almost able to get out of that with his position on top and then grabbing a hold of that leg of Fernandez, but not able to wiggle out of it. So Garcia will still be on the bottom here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Fernandez working from the left side, trying to break him down. He's got the wrist tied up with his hand, trying to reach between the legs to get it. Can't do it, trying to tip him again. Garcia better base this time down on the bottom. Standing up and then being tripped over. A nice wrist ride there. More near fall points. They went out of bounds. I don't know if he got enough for two. He did. 2 near fall points. So it's quickly a 6-0 contest for Fernandez on top for Davis. 36 seconds remaining here in the first round. Wenatchee Panther cheerleaders over on the far side. Quiet so far. Garcia working from the bottom, being tipped again, trying to reach back. He's got near fall points again. I don't think he had enough for 2 there. No, they are going to say. Eric Strode says 2. So 2 near fall points makes it 8-0 with 20 seconds to go here in this first round. In our 126-pound match, and he took him right to his back. He's got him nearly pinned with 10 seconds left. More near fall points coming. And Fernandez showing the more experienced wrestler on top here for the Pirates. And that 2 near fall point will make it a 10-0 match in favor of Josh Fernandez of Davis. He has the choice. He will defer, and Garcia will choose up here to start this second round. But Garcia's got to get busy here trying to score some points as he trails at 10-0. 126 pounds, our first official match of the night after a forfeit at 120 pounds to start out on our draw. Quickly to his feet is Fernandez, and he is loose with the escape. 1 point for Fernandez, and he leads it 11-0 here over Wenatchee's Julio Garcia. Working here near side. Both wrestlers step out of bounds outside the outside circle, and so they'll bring him back to center. And start it over again will our official Eric Stroud. Both wrestlers tied up here. Another attempt at the pick by Fernandez. Shucks him down, tried to shoot, but a nice counter by Garcia. Garcia, if he can whip that whizzer in there, might be able to scoot his legs around and get a takedown out of it. But Fernandez drops to a hip, causes Garcia to get out of balance, grabs that leg deep, forcing it over. Garcia trying to counter here, but Fernandez in deep on that leg right now. Now he inches up the body and gets a 2-point takedown. Good solid wrestling by Josh Fernandez, the sophomore for Davis. Leads it 13-0 now, and now he's going to get more near fall points. That obviously his favorite move. Making that wrist ride, and we got a 2 near fall, and that's going to be it. Technical fall here, 15-0 the score, as Josh Fernandez will get the victory for the Davis Pirates at 126 pounds. So the technical near fall is 5 points on the scoreboard, so it's 11-0 contest. Davis on top of the Panthers. Next up, our 132-pound match. Leo Gutzweiler for the Wenatchee Panthers against Cameron Guerin for the Davis Pirates. Guerin, a senior, and Gutzweiler, underclassman here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Underway first round here. Cameron Guerin, by the way, state finisher every year. Another good move on the feet with that heel pick, and a 2-point takedown for Cameron Guerin. And we got a timeout with looks like contact may have come loose for Cameron, and they're going to look for it on the mat here, and she was able to find it. And so we'll have an injury timeout, and they will run the clock here. You get 5 minutes in the match for injury timeout. So the official says, let's go ahead and run that. Now is whether you have any contact solution on the sideline. 11-0 the team score here after Davis won by forfeit and by a technical fall. And our injury timeouts here on the NCW Life Channel, brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. That's Confluence Health. We appreciate their sponsorship here on the NCW Life Channel. So they start that clock. You got 5 minutes for a match of injury time. And if they're not able to get back and start wrestling, then it's a forfeit as she continues to try to get that contact back in. Eric Stroud being called over to the near sidelines. The scores table asking if this is injury time, and yes it is. And she just was using some saliva to put that contact back in her eyeball, and now it's back in. So both wrestlers on their feet. 2-1 contest. And they did give the escape to Gutzweiler. Gutzweiler taken down again, and a takedown by Guerin. Guerin obviously very skilled in the freestyle variety of wrestling. Working on top. Try to get that leg in. Now he's got the opposite wrist crossface opposite, trying to cradle him up on the far side. She's got the hands locked. She's going to tip him over. Gutzweiler taken to his back here. Guerin squaring up, trying to keep him in there. She got near fall points. And it's a 3-point near fall for Guerin. 7-1 quickly the score here with 47 seconds remaining in the first round. We're at 132 pounds. We've got the female wrestler for Davis, Cameron Guerin, against the Panthers' Leo Gutzweiler. She's got that leg in, trying to get the half Nelson in. That she's got it in. The official says he's not tipped quite yet. She's still trying to pull on that chicken wing there. Not able to get to leverage. She got both legs thrown in, riding a little high, and that's where you sit up and grab hold of a foot if you're Gutzweiler, but then right away she puts the half Nelson in. She's got that arm barred up. Now she's trying to bring it back a little bit high, and she's going to run out of time here in this first round. 7-1 the score. After one, Cameron Guerin leading Leo Gutzweiler. Wenatchee defers. Gutzweiler does, so it'll be both wrestlers up. Chooses Cameron Guerin. They start on the whistle. And trying to set him up right now is Cameron Guerin with a big head drag. And she takes him down. That'll be a 2 points takedown for Cameron Guerin. Senior state placer every single year for the Davis Pirates. And you can see why. A very talented wrestler on top here on Leo Gutzweiler. Minute and a half remaining in the second round as she's trying to get that freestyle in there again, as she's got the legs wrapped up, right foot thrown in. Thought about maybe trying to bar up that forearm. Chops at the near arm. Grabs the wrist, maybe trying to pull it back. Trying to go with a power Nelson, can't get that. Wrist tried to break him back down. Gutzweiler trying to get to his base. He does. She gets the leg out. Leo, I guess that leg back in there does Guerin. Breaks him down again. Trying to work that power half from the far side with 52 seconds left here in the round. Tips him. Official says nope, still no exposure points coming to the mat. Got to get more than perpendicular with those shoulders to the mat. Now she's got that far arm pulled across as well, trying to get the leverage here with 30 seconds left. And Gutzweiler doing a pretty good job of just trying to keep his base right now and not let her swing him over. So finally she says, all right, what else are we going to do here? She's still got that arm barred up in the back on the left side. Now she's going to thought about walking it over. She's got the other arm. Now she's got exposure points and maybe a pin here with 8 seconds left in the round. With 7, he was able to get his arm free. A 3-point near fall for Guerin, and it's a 12-1 lead for the Davis wrestler as we're through the second round here at Wenatchee High School. First match of the night was a forfeit. Luis Partida, a win for Davis. Josh Fernandez then Technical foul, Julio Garcia, 15-0, and now we're in danger of having another Panther go down by the technical fall here, as Cameron Guerra will be on the bottom here for the first time. Gutzweiler tried to work it and now finds himself reversed. It's now 14-1. And she's got that arm barred up, walks it over, got a chance to get a pin here again. And that is so tough to get out of. She's got both arms barred. And if she could sit out and get some leverage here, Gutzweiler's almost got his hand pulled out of there. He does. Then faces her, a little dangerous there. 3-point near fall. And that's a technical fall, so the whistle comes, and that will be the match. 17-1 the final. Here in our third match of the night, so another technical fall means another 5 points in the team standing. So it's now 16-0 Davis on top of Wenatchee, as we'll go to the 138-pound match in Alan Swan against Malachi Cook. Swan for the Panthers. And Cook for the Pirates. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. They gave 1 point to Wenatchee because the Davis Pirate was not ready to wrestle when he came out onto the mat. And so 1 point already awarded to Alan Swan. Both wrestlers in the center circle on their feet to start this match. Swan, slow, deliberate. A shot there taken by Cook, and the both wrestlers head towards the out-of-bounds circle. No points awarded on a takedown there. Both wrestlers on their feet. 18 seconds gone into this first round. Again, Malachi Cook, a lot of shucking and jiving out there against Alan Swan. Swan just kind of methodically wanting maybe possibly to counter any shot taken by the Davis wrestler. The shot by Cook got both legs. Swan up, nice counter, was able to sprawl out and get both hands locked up under the chest. And that didn't allow Cook to get in any further. So they come back center circle as they went out of bounds. 1:15 left here in the first round. No score yet between Cook and Swan. Swan reaches out, grabbed that wrist for a moment. Cook reaches up, grabs a hold of the back of the head, tried to snap him down to the mat. Swan says no. Double shot there, but a nice counter by Swan. Got the hand across the face. Got to watch his balance here. He's taken down right almost to his back. 2-point takedown for Malachi Cook, the freshman coming out, barring up that arm right away with 38 seconds left in the first round. 2-1 to score. Malachi Cook on top, adjusts his own headgear. He's got that arm barred on the left side. Maybe wants to try to pull him back here. As Swan did a good job getting back up to his base. Hand fighting. See if he can get up. Tried to step up with the left foot. Cook follows. Now Swan, hand fight near the out of bounds circle. Still fighting. See if he can get that loose here. Cook trying to lock up the hands, now picks him up and slams him down. They're out of bounds, and it will be Swan down. 2 seconds left in the round. 2-1, Cook on top. Davis in charge of the match so far. 16-0 in the team's points. And they blow the whistle, and that will be the end of the first round, with Malachi Cook, the freshman from Davis, leading the Wenatchee Panthers' Alan Swan in the 138-pound match. Swan chooses down. See if he can get at least escape points, if not a reversal, as he trails at 2-1 as we head to the second round. It's a heavy placement by Cook upon the back of Swan. I'm surprised they didn't get a caution for being a little bit too aggressive as they got ready from the wrestler's position. Swan on the bottom for Wenatchee in the gold singlets. Cook on top for Davis in the black and orange singlets. He's got that wrist tied up, trying to sink the arm bar in, gets it. Swan doing all he can to get that arm free. But Cook doing a good job of riding. Now wanted to maybe try to double up both arms. Went to the opposite wrist ride. Now Swan pulled down towards his back. He should have gone a little quicker there on that stand-up. Now he's in danger of being pinned here with 1:10 to go in the second round. Swan fighting and fighting himself, staring at the ceiling right now for the Wenatchee Panthers. As Cook wrestles up, got chest to chest, and we are pinning here at 138 pounds. Win by pin in the second round. It's Malachi Cook over Alan Swan, and Davis leads it 22-0. Next up, we have Oliver Hernandez for Davis and Jordan Velasquez for Wenatchee. We're already to 145 pounds. The Panthers still looking for their first points here. Wenatchee still looking for some points in a Big Nine match, falling last week to Moses Lake 73-3. Trying to get something going here. Jordan Velasquez has the old junior varsity singlet on out there with a purple. Meanwhile, Oliver Hernandez in the black, and right to his back. A nice takedown, 2 points for Velasquez. Trying to get Wenatchee their first points of the match. Got him locked up with a... Got that arm nicely placed. Got his positioning good. Trying to get it, and he got the pin in just 18 seconds. So the first points for the Panthers comes from Jordan Velasquez. The junior knocks off the freshman, Oliver Hernandez. And the Panthers get their first points. 22-6, the match now stands. And now we wait to see what Coach Ed Valdez decides to do here at 152 pounds. He told us he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do. We've got Orlando Rodriguez listed, or Pedro Acevedo. It looks like it's going to be Orlando Rodriguez. So it is Orlando Rodriguez. And quickly taking him down was Emiliano Mata. Takes him down, lets him up, 2-1 the score. Mata obviously likes to work on his feet and almost took him down to his back there, but the two wrestlers out of bounds. Both wrestlers will be up. Mata and Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a sophomore. Mata, the senior. Mata again takes him right down. Got that Nelson in, trying to work him over to his back. A little bit out too far in front. Reaching. He is getting some near fall points, and he'll probably let him up here, and he does. A 1 point escape, a 3 point near fall. It's a 6-2 match. Mata on top, working near side. Again, they go out of bounds. Emiliano Mata for the Davis Pirates backing up here, wrestling towards his bench with 1:15 to go. And just like that, takes him down quick as a cat. My goodness. Emiliano Mata, definitely powerhouse on his feet. He turns back, takes a look at the clock. He's got 1:03 to go. See if he can get some near fall points. No, he's going to turn him loose. Want to take him down again. Again, try to take him down near side. Goes out of bounds. 8-3 the score. Mata on top. Mata again ties him up. Try the hand drag. Sets him up. Tried the heel pick. Obviously Davis, is one of their favorite things to do. Every wrestler that's come out here so far on their feet trying to do that. And a little shove by Mata as Rodriguez angled backwards, but the two again out of bounds. 33 seconds left here in the first round. 8-3, Mata on top. Another heel pick, and let's see if they know he's not going to give him the takedown.
Gotta be inside.
Both wrestlers out of bounds. We got a caution against Wenatchee's wrestler. Didn't have his foot on the line out there center circle. Mata just very powerful. Tried to set up and took him right to his back here with the takedown. He's got two there and maybe a pin to come. 13 seconds left here in the round. And he takes a look at the clock. Has that arm barred up on the back. Almost was a little bit too high on that arm bar. And now trying to walk him over with 1 second, and he will not get more points. Did get the 3 near fall. It's, I think, 13-3. They've got 10-3 on the board. Yes, 13-3 our score after the first round in this 145-pound match. Davis wrestler chooses, or 152-pound match, excuse me. Another takedown. Beautiful heel pick that time. Watch the knee. He lets it go. Underway, second round. It's Emiliano Mata of Davis, Orlando Rodriguez for Wenatchee. He's got that arm barred up again, got the other hand on the wrist. Got to watch that arm to make sure it doesn't get too far back. He's got both arms barred kind of awkwardly. Kind of an and that's going to be a pin right there. Well, an interesting way to do it. He had an opposite bar on the far side, but a pin here with a minute 28 remaining in the second round. So we'll say 32 seconds into the second round. And the pin for Emiliano Mata makes it a 28-6 contest. Davis on top. So Andres Nunez will go now for Davis, and since we picked Orlando Rodriguez, I guess that means it's Pedro Acevedo for the Wenatchee Panthers. It will be Pedro. Got to be advantage Panthers here. Acevedo, a senior, sophomore in Nunez. 28-6. Davis on top here as we're midway through this match here tonight on the NCW Life Channel. Appreciate you joining us. I'm Eric Grandstrom. We've got JC back here, Jessica Medina here as well on cameras. Caitlin Hedersheet back in the studio running controls as we're in the 160-pound match here this evening. Both wrestlers nearing out of bounds, so it'll be Acevedo that'll back up and bring Nunez with him out towards center circle. Nunez with a mouthpiece in, but he's kind of chewing it half in, half out of his mouth. Acevedo trying to set him up here. A dive attempt, shot taken by Nunez. Good counter by Acevedo. Acevedo, little hand fighting in the standing position. 1:03 to go here in the first round. No points yet between the sophomore and the senior. Now kind of a half-hearted shot there by Acevedo. Nunez with the counter. Now Acevedo with the arm drag, and now nothing happening. Acevedo backing up back towards the center circle again as both wrestlers feeling each other out here in this first round. 38 seconds left in the round. Still scoreless. There's another kind of a shot. They're really not going for the leg. They're kind of going mid-waist. Now another arm drag by Acevedo, and both wrestlers dance out of bounds, so it'll be back to center circle. Acevedo took a step back. He's got to be careful of that. Could get a caution on the whistle. Acevedo and Nunez tie up. Now, no advantage there. Nunez, for a sophomore, obviously has some power in those long arms. And both wrestlers go out of bounds again. 10 seconds left here in the first round. 28-6 our score with the team score. Davis on top. Still scoreless in this particular match at 160 pounds. Fans behind me asking Acevedo to shoot. No shoot coming. Our broadcast brought to you by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Also by Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club and the Windmill Restaurant. So Davis will choose to be down here as we head to the second round. Scoreless through one. Nunez on the bottom. Acevedo on top. Works from the left side. Tried to break down that elbow. Got a little bit high. Scoots his legs around. Good spin underneath by Nunez. Nunez trying to keep a strong base down there. Opposite ankle ride here by Acevedo on top. Reaches back with that right hand. Now he reaches up. Breaks the elbow down. Reaches around with that left arm. Holds on to the wrist. Trying to work his hand in there on the right side, on the opposite side. Can't get it, so now he'll go with a power half for a moment. Won't do that. Nunez, all he can do with the hands from the bottom. Minute 22 left here in the second round. Still scoreless between these two wrestlers in this 160-pound match. Now trying to cradle him up on the far side. Nunez fighting, and Acevedo almost got the fingers locked. Couldn't get it as he went for that far side cradle. Now he cross faces again, picks that hand back there, tries to wrestle to push him around, but he's got to use a little help from his waist to get that upper body to curl around. Now he goes with that power half again, can't get it in. Because Nunez, very strong in the neck, lifts his head up, won't allow it to happen. 45 seconds left in the second round, still scoreless. And there they get that arm. Now the official's got to watch that arm to make sure he doesn't get it up too high, as he's got it pulled across. Nice arm bar. Now he's got the other arm underneath, going to lock up that wrist and then going to walk him around. Get that head over. 20 seconds left. Left go of the arm, and he's going to get some near fall points. Got to watch it so he doesn't stretch that too far. Reaches up, ties the left hand with the right hand of the wrestler. 10 seconds, and he pinned him. Acevedo, nice move. Got a pin. 50 seconds remaining. Excuse me, 10 seconds remaining in the second round. So that makes it 28-12. So it's pin or be pinned our last 4 matches in a row, as we'll go to 170 pounds now. Kean Davis for Wenatchee against Jordan Alcala for the Davis Pirates. Kean Davis for Wenatchee, Jordan Alcala for Davis. Team scores a little closer here. This should be a good one. We got two seniors wrestling here for both teams. Nice shot by Alcala. Picks up Davis, throws him to his back. They're going to give him a 2-point takedown as both wrestlers go out of bounds, and it will be a whistle. Kean Davis will come back to center circle in the down position with Jordan Alcala on top. Heavily muscled Alcala, a little bit smaller, shorter than Kean Davis. See if Kean can use that length to his advantage, but right now on the bottom, advantage usually that shorter, stronger wrestler on top. Minute 29 left here in the first round, 2-0, with Alcala leading Davis at 170 pounds. Got that arm ride going on. Trying to bar up the left arm is Alcala. Chest to the back of Kean Davis. Davis, meanwhile, underneath trying to get to his base here. And he tried to go opposite with the half Nelson. He's got that arm finally barred up on the left side. Trying to ride the wrist on the opposite side and then walk it around, but Davis working his legs around to the right side to try to keep it from happening, but he does turn him with 45 seconds left in the round. Now he's trying to adjust and hold on to those arms and pull him up, and he does, and that will be, we're just about pin territory here. He had to let it go, couldn't hang on to it. 3-point near fall, and somehow Kean Davis able to refrain from being pinned there, somehow. The score 5-0. Alcala on top with 20 seconds left in the first round. Kean Davis using a lot of energy underneath as Alcala backs up, adjusts his headgear. Kean Davis finally works to his base with 5 seconds left in the round. I think Alcala's just hanging on here, going to wait for the second round. Davis almost to his feet as the round comes to an end. 5-0 our lead here for Jordan Alcala, the senior for the Davis Pirates at 170 pounds. He'll choose down here as we'll head into the second round. Kean Davis approaches, will work from the right side. Alcala quickly explodes to his feet and reverses him. Now both wrestlers on their feet. 7-0 score, Alcala on top. Alcala looking for something here, maybe a throw. Take Kean Davis maybe down to his back. Look out. Took him down to the mat. Davis did a good job of making sure he kept the chest to the mat, not the other way around. Kean Davis underneath for Wenatchee, trying to figure out what to do here against a very talented wrestler. You get Jordan Alcala. Alcala backs up, kind of surveys the landscape, trying to ride that wrist, get it bent over, see if he can maybe get it barred up. Kean does a pretty good job getting the hands free underneath. Alcala reaches back, trying to tip him from an odd angle, can't do it. And now the wrist ride. Davis does a good job. Now watch out for that reverse. Watch for the full Nelson. That was a full Nelson right there, and that's a point to Kean Davis. Should be illegal hold. It is full Nelson. Whistle against Jordan Alcala. Sometimes that happens where you're trying to get that Nelson in on the weak side, then it presents itself on the near side, and you don't quite give one up before you try to get the other. And that's exactly what Alcala's trying to do again here, as he's got that Nelson on the far side. And the one of the assistant coaches for Wenatchee saying, hey, he's got that full Nelson again. Officials right there over the top of it, watching what's going on. 30 seconds remaining here in the second round. 7-1, Alcala on top of Kean Davis. Davis up to his feet, but he's got it locked up and then left and let it go. So an escape here for Kean Davis. Both wrestlers go out of bounds. Davis was looking back up at the clock as Alcala shot. 17 seconds left. Alcala backed up there at the whistle. Head snap. Davis goes down to his base, trying to hold on to that leg, and now he's got him cradled up, does Alcala. So with time winding down here, let's see, are they going to give him a 2-point takedown? No, he's going to say no points, even though he started to count. Okay, so 2-point takedown will be handed by Eric Strode. So I think that should make it a, well, they got 7-2 on the board right now. It should be 9-2. It is 9-2, our score, with Jordan Alcala on top of Kean Davis. And now literally on top of Kean Davis here as we start the third round. Our first match tonight to go, I think, to the third round. It is. Trying to go far side. Kean Davis in position, possibly get his weight back, trying to get Alcala rolled over here. No advantage gained either way, the official says. See if Alcala can stay on top. He does. Kean Davis close to taking advantage of a mistake there by Alcala. Get a little too high. Minute 29 to go here in the third round. Davis trying to get to his feet. Alcala working from the right side with that left hand in there. He's got the arm barred up again. Davis says, oh, hang on. A little bit of a chicken wing going on. And so dangerous hold. The official wisely stops it and will set the wrestlers back up here with a minute 14 to go in the third. 9-2, Alcala on top of Kean Davis. Whistle blows, wrestlers start. Kean doesn't really do much right on the whistle. He's got to be exhausted right now after Alcala's been just working him over here in this match. Just about a minute to go in the match. Davis on the bottom. You hear the coaches on the far side for Wenatchee saying, keep your head up. Put that head down. That allows the wrestler on top to go for the Nelson. Davis trying to work to his feet again with 45 seconds left here in the round and the match. Alcala was reaching around and through, had that ankle picked for a moment. Davis trying to scoop back, and then trying to drag him back right to him as Alcala right to his back. Davis stands up here trying to get free. They're going to give him a 1-point escape. They will. So Kean Davis now trailing at 9-3 with 27 seconds left in the match. Alcala, see what he does here as the match winds down. Our 170-pound match here tonight. Kean Davis kind of spun, trying to maybe do a head and arm. Missed it. Alcala behind him. Now Alcala gets two legs with 8 seconds with 7 near the out-of-bounds circle. Davis trying to hop his way out of bounds. They're out of bounds and says both wrestlers up. No points for Alcala. 3 seconds left unless he's able to just flip him over to his back. This one's done. Alcala will win it 9-3 the final. over Kean Davis. Well, it looked like last 2 rounds of that particular match. So the team score with the win for Davis makes it 31-12 now, with the Pirates winning that match, and that'll bring us to 182 pounds. Ronan Haynes for Wenatchee against Juan Bellman for Davis. Haynes a junior and Bellman a senior. Don't forget, coming up on Thursday, we've got hockey night here on the NCW Life Channel. Trail and Wenatchee from back last week on December 6th. And then Friday, Wenatchee girls and boys basketball against West Valley starting at 5:30 right here on the NCW Life Channel. Ian Dunn and Mark Miller will have your play-by-play here on your home for Eastmont and Wenatchee basketball on the NCW Life Channel. Officials trying to get, or the scoreboard folks trying to get things squared away as far as the board is concerned. Still says the score for the last match, so they're trying to clear that out before we can get into our next match here. Instead of resetting it, they're having to go to 0. Okay, we got zeros on one side. Now we got 14 still on the other. And Eric Strode, our official, says, well, hang on. Got to wait for him to get it reset here.
Stop by the Busher Club concession. Stand out in the comments. They have a variety of items for sale.
Our next wrestling match, I believe, on the NCW Life Channel will be next week. Let me check our schedule here. Yeah, we've got Eastmont Wenatchee wrestling next Tuesday live, so a week from tonight here on the NCW Life Channel, right here from Wenatchee High School. So be sure and join us for that. I'm going to see if I can get possibly my dad to come over. He's a longtime coach with Cedar Woolley High School, Burlington High School over in Western Washington. Worked under Spud Wally, longtime coach at Cedar Woolley High School. But Dad is a wealth of knowledge as far as the wrestling world is concerned, and he has forgotten more about wrestling than I'll ever know. So we'll see if I can get the old man over here at least to help us on a broadcast, see what the passes are doing this weekend, and if I can coax him this way. So they're still having a hard time getting the scoreboard reset here. So Ed Valdez over to try to help with that. Well, we got a little break. Let's take a 30-second break on our broadcast, and we'll be right back as they work on the scoreboard. Now they've got the team scores kind of disappeared too. So it's 31-12, the team score. Davis on top of Wenatchee. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Well, they're still playing with the score clock here. If they have to, I'm sure they can go to the flip cards, the old-fashioned way of doing it. But they're trying to get the scoreboard rectified as they have the team score now right. Now the individual scores. And it is a little difficult, you're using something that's set up for basketball, for wrestling. And so the scoreboard that they're using for the individual matches is actually listed under fouls. But it's a multi-purpose board. On the top of the board it says fouls on either corner, but underneath says score. And on the very bottom it says match. So it is also a wrestling scoreboard. So just a matter of fine-tuning here. So Ronan Haynes and Juan Bellman waiting on the 182-pound match. The 195-pound match, still waiting to see whom Coach Ed Valdez sends out there for the 195-pound match. So we don't know that. We got the scoreboard reset. I think we're ready to go here. And a handshake for Haynes and Bellman, and we're underway here in this 182-pound match for Davis and Wenatchee. Haynes pushes him out of bounds. Bellman backing up. Bellman got a caution here. Got to have that foot on the line. He did not. So a caution whistled here on Bellman. Ronan Haynes, the aggressor here in the early part of this first round.
Get after him. Get inside.
Little shuck there by Bellman. Haynes, hand fight, head to head. Try to pull him in, maybe trying to go for a throw here. is what's the setup here for Ronan Haynes. Haynes kind of trying to feel him out here, push him around a little bit, see if he can find a little gap in the armor. Minute 5 left of this first round. No score between Bellman and Haynes. A little head snap. Now he got the advantage. Now he reaches back, grabs that leg, almost got himself in trouble. Haynes steps up, and a nice job of countering what he got himself in trouble. So Ronan back to his feet, working on Bellman again here. So it's been a move and counter first round between these two at 182 pounds. Bellman with a feint of a shot there. Counter by Haynes. Haynes with a shot. Got that arm too. He's going to get the 2-point takedown at least. With 10 seconds, the wrestlers go out of bounds, and so they'll head back to center circle with Ronan Haynes on top of Juan Bellman, leading 2-0 here in this first round at 182 pounds. Haynes approaches, whistle sounds, try to grab a hold of that far leg, work him to the mat, gets him broken down. Now a crossface. Posted that hand in, was going to go for the reverse cradle, but time runs out. 2-0 the score. Choice for Ronan Haynes here, and looking over to Ed Valdez. Ed says defer, so he will. So now the choice is to Bellman, and he will choose down. So the Pirates have shown that they've got pretty darn good coaching by Pham with just technique on their feet, working from the top or the bottom in the wrestling position. A little bit high for Ronan Haynes here. Now he's trying to chase Bellman around, and if they were towards the center of the mat, that'd be a great position for him. But he's out of bounds, so the whistle sounds. Bellman will continue on the bottom here with 1:46 to go in the second round. Ronan Haynes works on top again. Tried to break him down just with the chest. You got to bump him from behind with your leg too. Gets him worked down. Then a crossface. Working to roll him around. Now trying to go for the reverse cradle. Got him cradled up. And right to his back, and that's a pin with 1:20 to go in the second round. The win by pin for Ronan Haynes. That makes it a 31-18 team differential here with Davis on top. And now the choice for Ed Valdez on whom he wants to send out. It will be Carranza for Wenatchee. So it'll be Lucas Carranza for Wenatchee against Alex Huizer for Davis. 195-pound match. And beforehand, I was talking with Ed about his wrestling choices at 195 pounds and 220. And I said, well, you know, who do you think you're going to have? And he says, I'm going to have Costanza out there. And I said, Costanza? I'm looking at your roster here, Coach. It says Carranza. He says, yeah, but I call him Costanza. Both wrestlers out of bounds, so they'll restart it here at center circle. Carranza and Huizar. Wenatchee Davis, 195. Huizar got him on the length by probably about 4 or 5 inches. Carranza wants to try to get him in close on his feet. Maybe go for a throw here. The big fellas, they love to do that. Now a shot by Huizar. Carranza trying to counter. Got that whizzer in. Nice job, and took him down for the 2-point takedown. Nice counter on a shot by Huizar as Carranza is able to work that whizzer and get him down to the mat. Now trying to do a little wrist ride with a minute left in the first round, leading it 2-0. Much better riding on top this time for Carranza. Drove that leg into the back of the wrestler on the bottom. Then you apply the pressure with the chest to make sure you get him down, get him off of his base. Huizar not really doing a lot on the bottom right now as he finally gets back to his base. Carranza working a little bit too far to the side, will lock his hands here. Both wrestlers out of bounds. No change of position, so it'll be Huizar on the bottom with 29 seconds left here in the first round. Carranza on top, 2-0. Carranza approaches, whistle sounds, sit out, spin, 1-point escape for Huizar. Both wrestlers on their feet with 20 seconds to go in the first round. Carranza leading it 2-1. Huizar trying to use his length to his advantage. 195-pound match. Nice shot there by Carranza. Had both legs. Can't get it though as the round winds out of time. So as we head to the second, 2-1 to score. Carranza on top. Huizar will defer to the third round, so that gives Carranza the choice here, and he'll choose down. Whistle sounds. Standing up as Carranza, then back to his feet, or back to his base he goes, then up again, spins, escape, 1 point, Carranza, 3-1 on top of Huizar. For the team points here, Wenatchee really needs a big win. They really need a pin here. But Huizar certainly showing that he's a talented wrestler. So Carranza's got his hands full. Both wrestlers on their feet, minute 30 to go here in the second round. 3-1 Carranza on top. Little head drag there by Huizar. Carranza reaches out. Both wrestlers adjusting their headgear here. Ed Valdez, I can hear him over on the sideline saying motion, motion. Now a single leg for Huizar. Nice counter by Carranza. Kind of had that whizzer in, and a 2-point takedown going to be given to Carranza for Wenatchee. He leads it 5-1. 48 seconds left here in the second round. He'll try to break Huizar down. Carranza collecting his breath. 195 pounds. The muscles start to burn heavily here. Carranza takes him back down. Looked like Huizar was going to get a point on an escape, but a nice pickup by Carranza and takes him back down. Now trying to force that power. Nelson, look out, a little bit too high. Scoots back with 15 seconds left in the second round, leading at 5-1. And now holds on to that leg. He's got 8 seconds to hang on to that leg or go out of bounds. They're going to give him a 1-point escape. He will not. Eric Stroud, our official, says no. Huizar is still down. Whistle sounds. Again, Huizar stands up. Carranza let him go. Oh, thought he had a 1-point escape there at the buzzer, but no, the official says it does not. 5-1 the score, so the now choice is for Lucas Carranza, and he will choose down. Ed Valdez says out. Out to his wrestler, Lucas Carranza. Carranza tried to sit out, still up on his base, head down though. Breaking him down was Huizar. Wrist ride with 1:48 to go here in the match. Carranza leading it 5-1. You still got to be aggressive if you're Carranza. These Davis wrestlers have proven they can certainly do the freestyle turns, get some exposure time. He's got one arm barred up, and he's got it a little bit too high on the chicken wing, and so they're going to blow it dead and say no. Got an illegal hold and a 1 point awarded to Wenatchee's Lucas Carranza. 6-1 now the score. You got that arm barred up, but you got to keep your arm perpendicular to the arm that you've got barred. If you go up towards the head with your hand, that's called a chicken wing, and that's a dangerous hold and could result in injury. So 1 point to Wenatchee, but Huizar stays on top. Carranza working from the bottom here with 1:12 to go. He's got to make a move. Power half shot in on the left side, but then Carranza counters that. Whips his arm free. Now he's got room to stand up. He does. Spinning, escape. Nice job on the recognition by Lucas Carranza. He leads it 7-1. 50 seconds left here in the match. Trying to gain Wenatchee some more team points. Poor setup that time for Huizar as he went in. 2 point takedown awarded to Carranza. Ed Valdez saying he's tired. Maybe we can get a pin out of this. 30 seconds left in the match. Huizar on the bottom. Carranza on the top for Wenatchee. Trying to get that crossface in there. Ed Valdez saying keep your weight on him. 10 seconds left in the match. 9-1 the score. Both wrestlers are exhausted. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that'll be a big win for Wenatchee at 195 pounds. 9-1 the final score. As Lucas Carranza gets the victory for the Panthers. The official comes here near side. And the victory for Wenatchee, 9-1, should give them 3 team points. It does. So it's now 31-21 as we head to 220 pounds. And it will be Jose Galarza for Wenatchee. And Juan Gutierrez for Davis. Galarza is a senior. Gutierrez a sophomore, and the aggressor right off the whistle is Jose Galarza for Wenatchee. Galarza again approaches 220 pounds, taking him right through his back, trying to get the pin right away here in the first round for the Wenatchee Panthers. He's got a 2 point takedown and a 2 point near fall. 4-0 the score. Wenatchee on top. Minute 38 to go here in this first round. As Jose Galarza works on top, trying to ride the wrist from above. Trying to break them down, maybe get an arm bar, maybe get working a little bit high here. Minute 18 left in the round. Galarza doing what he can from above, but not much happening underneath for the sophomore and Juan Gutierrez. Gutierrez finally back up to his base. Galarza a little bit far out to the side, doesn't have his leg locked up. It's a dangerous position. Gutierrez could have just sat out, but now the half in drives him right back to his back. He's in the pinning motion with 46 seconds to go, and a pin and a win for Wenatchee. A pin in the first round, 1:16 into the first round. That makes it 31-27, getting interestinger and interestinger here at Wenatchee High School. I know that's not a word, but I like it. Well, they've got 28 on the board. So maybe that 9-1 win gave Wenatchee an extra point because they just got 6 with the pin. So they've got it 31-28. Going to check with the scores table down here, make sure that we are correct. Meanwhile, we go to 285-pound match. Andy Jimenez Manriquez for Wenatchee against Evan Stroud for Davis. We've got a sophomore versus a freshman. The big fellas. So 2 matches to go before Wenatchee has to give up a forfeit in its last match at 113 pounds. So that's 6 points for Davis, and right to the back. Taking him is Jimenez Manriquez, trying for the pin. Wrestling towards the out of bounds is Stroud, and a pin! 24 seconds into the first round. As the Wenatchee fans leap to their feet. So it is now Wenatchee leading the match 34-31. So it really comes down to this match here. Javier Aragon against Dominic Sowers at 106 pounds. Again, 113 pounds is a forfeit for Wenatchee. So 6 points coming for Davis. This match will be determined by this match right here. Again, Javier Aragon for Wenatchee. Dominic Sowers for Davis. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side by Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club and the Windmill Restaurant. Here we go. Wenatchee leads the match by 3 points. If they can get 14 points in a major win here, they would win the match. A 3-point win would mean a tie. So the head-to-head team matchup all comes down to this one right here. Obviously, Aragon's got to win it, and got to win it big over Dominic Sowers. A shot, and now the head drag. And the Wenatchee fans leap to their feet again. Electric atmosphere here right now at Wenatchee High School. Javier Aragon trying to hand fight his way. As both wrestlers, nobody's gained the advantage right now. Aragon trying to reach across and maybe spin his legs around, see if he can get the 2-point takedown. But tying him up underneath Dominic Sowers. Sowers holding on for dear life as well. Aragon reaching back for that back ankle. Got a hold of it, trying to get himself with his hips back and gain the advantage. If he could get that head, crossface on the head, but Sowers hanging on to his right arm so he won't let it go. That's good counter by Sowers. Sowers, the younger brother of a state placer, so they've got it in the family, and we're going to say a stalemate between the two. The wrestlers will both get back up to their feet with 30 seconds to go here in the first round. Scoreless between Aragon and Sowers. Aragon reaches out. Sowers with the counter, backs a step up. Aragon again. Sowers tried to reach up, grab the head. Aragon with a counter of his own. Aragon maybe on that push, trying to set up the leg, tried to reach for it there. Almost had a chance at a head and arm, but you don't really see that too much in the lighter weights. Aragon again got a little too close there, and a little frustration shove at the end of the round. Scoreless through one. The Panthers wrestler defers, so the choice will be to Dominic Sowers, the freshman for Davis. So Wenatchee trying to pick up its first head-to-head dual match win of the season here, leading it by 3 in the team point, 34-31, but need a big win here, and the whistle sounds as we start the second round with Sowers on the bottom, Aragon on top. Aragon got a little bit high there, reaches around, trying to go for the opposite cradle. Got the arm, got the leg. That's where you try to use your advantage on your length. Aragon's got Sowers by about 4 or 5 inches in length. Got to keep your hips in there. Arm was a little bit too high, and so now he'll back up on the base again with 1:30 to go here in the second round. Still no score between these two wrestlers. The wrestler on the bottom is going to make a move, though. Now we're going to get a whistle sounding as we have 1 point on an illegal hold by Aragon, and we got blood for Aragon as well. So Javier Aragon has blood coming out of his nose, so they'll start the clock on the injury timeout. While we've got this injury timeout, which is brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. We'll take a 30-second break and come back. You're watching live wrestling tonight between Wenatchee and Davis. We'll come back right after this 30-second timeout. So they're trying to get a plug in the nose here for Wenatchee's wrestler Javier Aragon. They have awarded 1 point for an illegal hold to Sowers right before the nosebleed came. Sowers will still be on the bottom here as Aragon will work from the top, now trailing it by 1. Again, Wenatchee leading in the team standings here. The team score 34-31. They need 4 points. 4 points. A major decision here. 4-point win for the Panthers would give them the match. Anything less than that, and with a forfeit coming up for Davis, they have 6 points coming. So the pressure is on with a minute to go here in the second round in a 1-0 contest. Sowers on top. Aragon trying to figure out what to do as Sowers has himself in a pretty good position. He's got to watch out here. Aragon Sowers sat out. See if he tries to. Sowers has the left arm of Aragon. Aragon just trying to figure out what to do here. He's got to get a leg in. Counters with the sit out by Sowers with 24 seconds left in the second round. Aragon's repertoire seems to be diminishing here as the wrestlers are on the mat. Sowers standing up. Aragon holds him up, lifts him as they tumble out of bounds, or they head out of bounds with 4 seconds left in the round. Sowers still the down wrestler here, according to our official, Eric Stroud. So Aragon approaches with 4 seconds left here in the round, and Sowers stands up. Aragon follows, and a nice follow as time expires in the round. Did not allow the escape. So still trails it by 1 here. And Ed Valdez says, you're going to take the down position. Javier Aragon tells the official, yep, that's where I want to be. And I'll try to score from here. But he's got to score and score a lot here in this final round in order for Wenatchee to win the match. So here we go. 2 more minutes to determine this one. Power right away for Aragon, but then taking him down is Sowers. Sowers got that arm tied up well. Now he's got a leg shot in there as Aragon tries to get himself to his base. He's got that leg shot in, and it's scissored with the other leg as he reaches across and tries to get him turned. Watch out here. Good freestyle move. Perpendicular, perpendicular, perpendicular. When's he going to get it? Parallel to the mat. Reaching. Aragon's got to get himself in a better position. Now he's getting near full points with 1:20 to go. They're getting near fall points to Dominic Sowers. Let's see if he gave him 2 or 3 there. Still has the hold in, so Aragon's got to try to get to his base and get out of that position right now. But right now, it's Dominic Sowers in charge of this match. He leads it at least 4-0, and now turning again. Aragon getting more exposure points. Might even get a pin here out of it. Aragon fighting for his life. Sowers on top, but a pin going to be whistled with 38 seconds remaining in the third round. And the win by pin for Dominic Sowers over Javier Aragon. That will mean a win not only in that particular match at 106 pounds, but also with the forfeit. 46-31 will be our final score here as they will tally it up. But heading in, it was, or excuse me, hold on, I got to do the right math here. So 37, and then 6 more on top of that is 43-31 should be our final score. As they raise the arm of Caleb Aguilar, who wins by forfeit, and that will be our final here in the match. They've got 34 on the board for Wenatchee. Yes, there we go. 43-34 will be the final score here in the match. So the Davis Pirates get the victory. They improve to 1-1. The Wenatchee Panthers take the loss. They fall to 0-2 in Big Nine duels as the teams will meet and shake hands here out at center mat. And we'll take a 2-minute break and come back and wrap it up here from Wenatchee High School. Again, our final score is Wenatchee falling to the Davis Pirates 43-34. The final will be back after this 2-minute timeout. Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee High School. Turned out to be a barn burner here tonight with Davis taking an early lead, and then through the middle and latter weights, Wenatchee coming back and had a chance to win this one here tonight against the Davis Pirates, but Davis would win by pin. Dominic Sowers with a big pin at 106 pounds, and that would give Davis the big edge it would need as it would go on to win it tonight by a score of 43-34. Good night tonight, though, for Wenatchee wrestlers up and down the lineup. Pin win for Jordan Velasquez at 145 pounds. It was also win by pin at 160 pounds for Wenatchee's Pedro Acevedo. Win by pin at 182 pounds for Ronan Haynes. Also a pin for Jose Galarza at 220, and a 24-second pin in the super heavyweight for Andy Jimenez Manriquez. So not all bad here for Wenatchee tonight. They have some positive things to work on as they head into yet another tournament this weekend. But Davis gets the better of the Panthers here tonight by a final of 43-34. Thanks to Jay Seebeck, to Jessica Medina, and of course to Caitlin Hedersheet back in the studios. I'm Eric Granstrom, and appreciate you joining us here for live wrestling tonight on the NCW Life Channel. We'll have more with Eastmont and Wenatchee coming your way next Tuesday, live right here, and of course more basketball coming up on Friday night from this spot as we'll bring you Wenatchee, the Panthers against the West Valley Rams. That's going to wrap it up here for tonight. Have a good evening, and we'll talk again soon on the NCW Life Channel. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for Wenatchee High School Panther Wrestling on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast was brought to you in part by the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club, the Windmill Restaurant, Les Schwab Tires, Confluence Health, TC Slingers, and the Walkabout Grill. We now return to our normal programming on your source for local sports, the NCW Life Channel.